Coach, I guess just so far heading into the second half of the season, what have you learned about your team, and what have you appreciated most about getting to coach this group?
I just appreciate coaching them. I appreciate coming in and going to practice and just trying to achieve some big goals. So I think it's just been a good group. Like, it's a tough group, resilient group. I've done a good job of just getting to where we are. We still have a long ways to go. So we just got to keep getting better.
I guess we've asked you about this a lot, but one half of the season out of the way. Looking back on when you first came in, when you were hired, has the roles of being a head coach, has that kind of gone exactly as you've imagined? Has it been a little bit different, or what have you had to learn about along the way?
No, I think it's constantly evolving, and I think to be to be a good head coach, to be a great head coach, to have whatever it is, you just have to keep evolving. So it's hard to say like this is exactly what I think it's going to be, and this is what it's going to look like tomorrow, the next day, because it's college athletics is changing constantly right now. So I think we got to continue to evolve. Like the stable thing is obviously the coaching side. Like, I love going in and coaching the guys, but I'm learning every dual meet, learning every day in the office and navigating the different things of being a head coach. But it's a very fun opportunity, and I'm just grateful to be here.
Is because a lot of times whenever somebody gets into college coaching, recruiting is always like a big learning process for them. Has that gone as expected for you in terms of the amount of time that it takes and the relationships you have to build and stuff like that, or kind of how has that gone for you think?
I don't know. I think you guys are probably the ones that talk about recruiting most, right? So maybe you guys give me grade on it, but I think we're just trying to go in and find the guys that want to come wrestle here. And I think that you have two kind of philosophies. You be in the present with your current team. We're trying to help this team achieve their goals. And the future is exciting to think about, but we're in the present. We're trying to, when you focus on what we do with this team, we're trying to help the guys be the best they possibly can. And meanwhile, you're developing relationships with guys going to be in the future. But I think that's the balance. But we're definitely present right now, helping this group get as good as they can. And the recruiting side of things is, it's takes time and energy and effort, but it's it's exciting, it's challenging, and it's just part of one of the fun things about being a coach.
What stands out about this NC State duel on Sunday?
Well, they're ranked fifth in the country. They've been a really household name, over the last handful of years, and they have a good dual team. They're going to be bringing the energy here. Coach Papalizio is an alumni at Oklahoma State, and it's alumni weekend, here as well. So, yeah, we just got to be ready to go. It's another good opportunity to go out and compete against a really tough team, and a chance for the fans to come and support us. I think one thing that's been really cool, we talked about the lofty goals of what we want to do this year from an attendance standpoint, and we've only, I don't know if we had a match this year, maybe one match we've had students during school semester, right? It's another match we're not going to have students, so, but we're still trending to break an attendance record for Oklahoma State, which is really exciting. To continue to challenge the people of Oklahoma to come support us. We need your support. It's a big duel. We need your support. As we move forward, we need your support. So I just think people, obviously there's a lot of excitement about our program, and the fans are integral to that. So hopefully it's another opportunity where they can come support our program as well.
How are your 133 pounders trending going into the weekend?
I think they're trending, excited to go compete.
So do you expect to have a guy there?
I hope so. Yeah. I hope that we have somebody this weekend. I feel pretty confident we'll have someone wrestling.
So I talked to Coach Papalizio this week, and he had a lot of really complimentary things to say about what he saw from you in this first year. As kind of an outsider, you talk about, I say outsider, but you're not an Oklahoma State alumni, and you're having alumni week and stuff. What's the sort of embrace with some of the alumni, the other coaches, because you've wrestled a few of them this year, and what have you seen from that?
Well, Coach Smith has a very large coaching tree. Just think about the history of this program, the tradition of this program. Some natural progression as these guys are going to come through the program and they're going to go coach other programs. So I think it speaks heavily of Coach Smith and what he's done for this program for a long period of time. And I just think it's exciting. I'm not an alumni of Oklahoma State, but take a lot of pride of being here and being a part of the program, and I feel like that's the trend, of people that they're excited, about the program. And I think we've had a lot of outreach from people, that have, I just think it's constantly engaging them and engaging our alumni, and we want them to feel a part of this program. Obviously they always have, but that's a big deal. People have wrestled here, and they tell their friends, and they tell their friends, and they tell their friends. I think that's how you make a big movement in the sport. So I think this is the first alumni weekend this year, and as they move forward, continue to reach out to more and more of them, and have hopefully bigger and bigger crowds that will want to come back.
What did you take away from Cody and Jersey at the Soldier Salute?
That was a good tournament for them. I think they both, had some good challenges up there, and I liked the way that they wrestled. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, we're not necessarily focused on the wins and the losses, especially, in a year maybe they're not wrestling in the lineup. It's about how are you wrestling, and I thought they did a good job. I think they made good adjustments from match to match. Both had a rebound after losing matches and wrestle back and get third, and that's what you want to see. It's easy to be a front runner. Things are going good, things don't go good. That's where you got to get challenged, especially in a year where maybe it's easy to maybe say, I don't know if I want to wrestle back. Well, that's just not an option here. We're going to wrestle back, and I think they did that. They did that at a really, really good level, and Merrill had a good win for third, turning All-American, Big Ten champ last year, and the adjustments he made from wrestling Buchanan to Salazar were very good. He has not lost much in his career, and he lost and was upset, but he rebounded and wrestled very well, on the backside, and made adjustments he needed to make from match to match. So really promising to see.
You talked a little bit about the attendance and how that's improved and everything, and there's a noticeable different sort of game day or dual day atmosphere, I guess, with the way you guys present things, stuff like that, tailgate, all those different things. Did you push for that? Did you collaborate with like the events team at OSU? Did you come up with some of those ideas, or is that where does all that come from?
I think from the beginning, I think it's important. I think obviously part of the change in bringing me down here is just different mentality, mindset. I'm a little younger and have I'm ambitious, right? We want to make Oklahoma State wrestling a cool place to come and wrestle for. We want to make it something that you could sit in your chair at home and watch it on ESPN Plus, and that's cool. You can watch it, you can support us, but it's not like the energy and the atmosphere of being here. I think about the events. This is an event that you want to come to. We have people every week that drive 3-4 hours that come. First time coming to Dual, and they're excited. We get calls every week like, man, this is the energy, the excitement, the way that the show. That's what we want to have, and we want our guys to be excited to go out and wrestle. In every match, no matter who we're wrestling, we're excited to go compete. And just trying to give them that platform of wrestling on the stage and running out, through a video board, and that stuff's exciting. It's fun. I think it moves the needle. I think it's moving the needle for college wrestling across the board. I think you're starting to see more and more programs integrating things like that. So that's just good for our sport, So, I think we collaborate with the events, and definitely trying to move things forward, for our sport when it comes to that stuff.
How do you, I guess, obviously it's a program with a ton of tradition. How do you kind of like walk that line of, okay, I want to be respectful to the tradition of Oklahoma State and stuff like that, while also bringing in new aspects to things?
Well, I think, our singlets, for example, right? We want to be traditional. We want to stick with the orange singlet, but we want to, bring some of the newer trends of the university to the singlet, right? The chevrons, it's a specific, wrestling specific brand. It's like one of a kind. There's no other sport that has a wrestling specific brand like the chevron. So we have it on our warm up, so let's integrate that to our singlet. The cowboy script is something that the university's kind of moved towards. So I think it's like a good balance of the two. I think that's kind of a good example. I just think it's brainstorming and bouncing things back and forth, and but like you said, college athletics is changing. So we got to change with it. We got to be ahead of the curve. It's just kind of the way that I think.